But if the flood phenomenon were human, we would have been laughing at the Nigerians.
Hello, welcome to Novel TV Live with Lily Kevin. Today we're going to be looking at NIMET's warning on flood. Now, this year NIMET has come out to say that the flood-prone area is going to be large, and the flood that we're going to be experiencing this year is going to be massive, and so warned people to take precautions now that it's very early. And we all know that the rains have actually started, and some areas have been really disturbed by flood. Now, the question is, how ready is the government to help or to assist people in flood-prone areas to make them get palliatives, or better still, take them to better places or safety so as not to be carried away or to be disturbed by the flood? Joining me on this conversation is Mr. Gray Amona. Good to have you.
Great to have you. Thank you for the privilege.
I'm so excited having you. Oh, why? I know what you do, right? Okay, so now we're looking at a very serious topic, flood.
Yes.
Flood in Nigeria, it's something that you cannot even wish your enemies. It's not something that someone would want to experience.
Yes.
And now NIMET has been warning. In fact, from the beginning of this year, I've gotten that signal that the flood this year is going to be massive, and people living in areas that is quickly affected by flood should take precautive measures. Now, the question is, what is the government doing about it? How or what steps have they put in place to assist those living in flood-prone areas to move them to safety? What exactly are they doing to assist people?
Well, the traditional approach actually has been evacuation. And, that is even interesting because it is an approach that is laden with a lot of, error-prone thinking. Because when you cling only to that evacuation strategy, it shows that fundamentally the infrastructure of, preparedness is not there. The most effective way of preparing for nature's, onslaught, which is actually built into our relationship with nature, it will always come, in the rainy season, is to reorganize the infrastructural life of society. And one of the most sensitive areas in this respect is the existing civil engineering infrastructure, the drainage system. Work on that. And as we speak, there's literally, because when we say government, has become something of it's an omnibus thing. You have federal, state, and the local structure.
Yeah.
All three layers are not seriously prepared. That's the truth. It's a bitter truth. You see, the problem is always the interplay between the two concepts, government and governance. Government is more readily perceptible, even to the laid back, sensitivity. The way I appreciates the reality is the governmental apparatus in place, the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. But there's an adjoining reality that is hardly visited with equal seriousness and sensitivity. That is the governance. So the cultural, input with regard to the existence and continuation of the governmental apparatus is not there. Okay. And that has to do with attitude training, orientation. As you're preparing for annual incursion of nature, prepare the mind of the population.
Okay.
How many, National Orientation Agency, has become something of, it's a cliche. The most important thing is to let the people know that, behavior out there in public affects the preparedness for a flood. When people drop litter randomly in drainage systems, in the drains.
Actually coming there.
Yes.
Yeah, because you spoke about the drainage system.
Yes.
Now, we have so many drainage systems being constructed by the government. What are the people actually doing to make sure that those drainages are clean for waters to pass?
That's the problem. When you construct, the drains, how do you monitor the physical survival of the drains? It's not just for the beauty of infrastructure to just lay, to just lie there staring at you, but it's for the continuation. And let me tell you, it's like somehow flood is an impersonal thing. It's objectivity of nature. But if the flood phenomenon were human, you'll have been laughing at Nigerians. So I'm always coming to visit you. Remember the Abiku fantasy, in African oral literature. Abiku visits the, he comes to the parents and says, okay, you can put all the manacles around me, but I always come. Somehow, maybe, if we give a human expression to flood, it will be a kind of a one-way relationship. It's always winning because we fundamentally are not prepared. The cognitive orientation is not there. If you go out there in the street, there's no drainage system in the Niger Delta that is clean, apart from those ones you experience in Cross River State. Yes, it's only Cross River State, and to an extent, maybe my experience is mostly Cross River. Here in the Western Niger Delta, no, the story is a very sad one. There's a very poor, public sensitivity, with regard to making sure that the drains are not there. And then there's another problem too.
Which is?
It connects with climate change curtailment program. It's also poor in supply because we do not believe in tree planting. These things, ward off the effect of the storms. It is the storms that coalesce into too much water and then build into waterways. So a lot of the layers of institutional lethargy are just too many.
Okay, so while we beckon on the state government to do something about it, what advice would you give to individuals living in flood-prone areas? What exactly would you advise them to do in respect to preparation of the flood that is coming?
Yes, individuals and social groups that find themselves in flood-prone areas are at face value helpless because you cannot initiate action without institutional involvement. And that institution is the legitimate government in place. There's nothing you can do without the federal minister of environment coming to the picture, the local government system coming to the picture, the orientating agency, which is NOAA, and also information, they have to also come to the picture because as we are preparing people to evacuate or preparing people to conduct themselves in a manner that will curtail the effect of the onslaught, you need the information machinery, which is very important, so that you tell the police, don't drop litter randomly. Then don't uproot trees, arbitrarily. The beauty, in any case, tree planting, awareness is important in this part of the world. It is not being translated, to Reddit as a truth.
Okay, thank you so much. And I would say big haste while the sun still shines. It's better you move away from flood-prone areas to avoid stories that touch the heart. Thank you so much, Mr. Gray Amona. You've actually spoken well. But what's your take on that? Do you think the government is well prepared to help those living in flood-prone areas? And also, what do you think those living in such areas, what do you think they should do in readiness to the flood that is oncoming? Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share, and also drop your comment on this particular topic on Novel TV Live. I am Lily Kevin.